We got an interview, man, coming up. This guy has a small channel. Want to do some ADD awareness, stuff like that. It's going to be a different interview. You know, since I've had this channel, I don't mind helping little channels and stuff like that. I really don't. And it's got nothing personal with this guy or anything. But in the past, I don't mind helping people. But man, it's over with. It's a wrap for me because I can't stand when people want to do collabs and whatnot and you don't have your shit together. I just can't wait around all day. I can help you and try to bring audience your way. And that's just out of goodness of my heart. A lot of people tax, they charge people. Who am I to say what is right or wrong? I don't mind helping somebody, but man, and again, it's not him. What a horrible way to start a video, right? But this happens all the time, man. And I collab with who I want to collab with, other channels for the audience. We'll even see what the video does with the views or whatever. But so it's a wrap for right now. I help. I try to be a better tuber than the most, but I understand why other tubers don't do it. Little backstory, but let's bring them on. All right, man. White Boy Lockdown Radio back with another one. We got Mike. He's got a little bit different of a channel rather than the prison stuff or true crime-ish. He's got more of, he brings awareness. You know, he came to me, he's a sub of mine, subscribe to his channel. We share something, we both share ADD. I've spoken in my videos before. I don't look at it like a weakness, man. I used to when I was younger, but I look at having ADD as like a, almost an advantage. I take advantage of it at least. How do you feel about it, Mike? Would you agree with that?
Oh, 100-fold. You know, I used to look at an AZD, you know, as a disability, a downfall, and it wasn't till, you know, recently, a couple of years ago, that I actually see the positive in it. You know, you've probably seen some of my videos. I've had some of the rarest coincidences that you could ever possibly imagine, and I really never even truthfully knew or thought about this shit growing up. It's just coming, you know, it's just dawning on me as each video I tell, you know, I remember something else. And so, like, you know, this shit's happened my whole entire life. So, you know, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and ADD can, you know, be a benefit. But to guys like us, you know, growing up, it wasn't, you know, it was hard. It was, you know, brutal growing up in school and being labeled, being in LD class. You know, that's some hard shit to digest, you know. And I got friends that suffer from it that are not with us anymore. One of my best friends growing up, my ADD buddy, just killed himself last year. So that's really what kicked me off, you know.
What happened with that?
It's a good buddy of mine, Aaron McDowell, right? We grew up together. We were in LD class together in high school. And even after high school, we were put in like this, you know, disability housing rehab together. So, you know, we were tight. I was with him the few times I met my wife. The guy, you know, he's slow in LD, so he works at the at the Rite Aid up the street from my parents, right? So even after we're not hanging out, my parents are seeing him and talking with him, you know. So we never lost touch with him. And like I said, last year he lost a fight, and you know, he maybe not was as mentally tough as guys like me and you know. He lived at home you know, his whole life until his mother passed away. He was, you know, in his 40s by then.
Yeah.
Moved to Florida, made it. Go ahead.
Did he by any chance have substance issues? Because a lot of you know, I never spoke about it on the channel. I tell people I got ADD, but you know, I also had addiction issue. A lot of people,
it comes with it.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Look, man, people. I know chicks that don't even know that they're bipolar, and they have the addiction thing, and it really messes people up because they don't even know. At least like we could sit here and say, hey, I got ADD. I don't think it's a weakness, but man, when you have the substance with it, it's like a cocktail of super poly substance. you know, abuse. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's hell. I mean, I don't know about you, but as far as me and what I know, we're prescribed Ritalin at 5 years old, so we're given speed at a young age. I mean, what do you expect? You know?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know about you, but it was like programmed in my head. You know, I got to have a pill. I need a drug. You know, this isn't. You know, this is embedded into our psyche and our everyday living. I've had to, you know, learn that shit, and you know, and come to terms with it, and fight my demons like you and everyone else has and does, you know.
Yeah, I've been taking Adderall for years, man. Years. I had to take Ritalin, but I take Adderall. Same thing. But yeah, so what's the channel, man? What do you? I skimmed through. So I leave comments here and there. I know you had some. I know you've had some issues with some of the prison channels because these dudes, some of the dudes in the prison genre are ridiculous. I get it. But you know, you have like a channel. It's just like an open. How would you describe the channel?
I don't know, just me telling life stories. You know, I've lived a quite odd, rare, intricate life, I guess you'd say. You can see by the stories. I've been through some crazy shit. And so I just share that with the world, good, bad, and indifferent. You know, I battled addiction. I've won, thank God. I'm 2 years clean. And,
2 years?
You know, all the guys growing up. What's that?
No, 2 years clean? Right on.
Yeah. And all the guys that I, you know, used to run with are dead in prison and are on their way to prison.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Same here, bro. Same here.
I can show, and, you know, I can show the youngsters with facts. I can show you with facts, you know, from my own personal life and testimony, shit I've gone through health-wise that was directly and is directly related from using, smoking. I got necrotizing pneumonia about a couple of years ago now. And due to using, I had to have an abscess cut out of my arm that was the size of a Coke can. I had a hole in my arm. You could set a Coke can in my arm without touching skin.
Is that from a miss?
Show you if you could.
Was that from a miss?
You're not cooking dope. That and not cooking dope. I didn't know how bad not cooking dope was for you. Can you see that?
No,
right
it's like a sleeve or legs. Now we got a fence. Can't really see the arm.
Starting to see it coming in.
Maybe a little.
It's like backwards to me. I'll get it.
So, dude,
I'll have to show you in the picture. The scar's like 7 inches long. It goes all the way across my bicep, right? It's ugly as fuck. It's disfiguring, right? Not something people want to go through. They told me that if I would have been another day or two, I would have lost my arm. If I'd have made it another day or two past, then I would have been dead. If I didn't go to the hospital. Yes.
What were you shooting up?
Heroin. That and or not cooking your dope would do the same, right?
Right.
So, you know, you get impatient, you jump in the car. People do it. People need to know. I want to help bring awareness. You know, if you're going to do it, cook your dope, you know, take that time. I know guys that haven't. I've seen, you know, bloodshed. I saw this chick came to work with this dude for a week. This girl's arm was getting worse and worse. She wouldn't go to the hospital. She wasn't scared. She damn near lost her arm too. You should have seen this thing. You've seen it. It's fucking gnarly, right? At the same time, I dealt with MRSA. The thing was a staph infection. Obviously, I had surgery to cut out of my arm. And for 2 weeks, my wife had to fill this thing full of gauze, right? Fill the hole full of gauze and clean that and change it every day for a couple of weeks. Imagine your arm being filled with gauze and having to open this fresh wound and taking a shit in and out every day. It was.
I had MRSA once from a spider bite. I know what you mean. It's nasty. It's green mucus. Let me ask you a question. You're in Detroit, right?
What's that?
You're in Detroit, right?
No, I'm in Atlanta.
Atlanta. Got mixed up.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, do they have like in the cities, where heroin's bad at, do they have like a needle exchange there?
No, not when I was using. You know, times may have changed, but you got to think. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. We're the Bible Belt Christian capital of the world. And as far as, if you know what I'm saying, Georgia's always been and always is going to be the worst. You know, weed's still illegal here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't see it changing. I don't see that changing for a long time. You know, everywhere else is legal, but it's fucking still illegal here. So
I can never understand that, man. You know, there's some cities that have these needle exchanges, which can prevent hep or AIDS or reusing.
I know.
Like, why don't they have them everywhere? I don't get it. I never can understand that. I've never seen anything like that in Florida. It sounds like, well, I'm not too far from you, but there's nothing like that here either, man.
Right.
Dude, I want to tell you, man, you got 2 years sober. I guarantee you, in the last 2 years, I have lost a lot of people to
hell yeah,
heroin, or people thinking they're getting heroin and it's fed. Man, I'm not saying
heroin.
Yeah, I'm sure you've ran across it a million times, but man, nowadays, if you were wilding out like you were, bro, you might not even be able to do this interview, dude. You know, it's out of control right now. People are just they're dropping dead,
dropping like flies. That's why 2 years. That's why I pulled out. I OD'd the last time I used before I quit. Right.
Yeah.
And so that was real deal. Fall on my knees. My boys tried to bring me back with 2 Narcan canisters, whatever. You know, what if they wouldn't have had them on deck? I probably wouldn't have made it to that. You know, the paramedics got there. So, and as a matter of fact, the guy the next day or so, another guy dropped dead in my buddy's bedroom off the same batch. He told me, be careful. No.
Damn.
You're working our ways. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
It brought me to my knees.
That's good, dude. You know, it's getting out of control. A lot of people in the last 2 years. Honestly, man, it's probably, if I had to put a number on it, it had to be over 25 people, more than that in the last 2 years itself, man. And the craziest thing is, you know, I don't know how it is in Atlanta. I'm sure you have the same things going on in the streets here, but it's not just heroin with the fat. Here in Florida, you know, people want to get a Xanny bar or something, man. They press them with fat. They got fake blues on the street with fat. They got Percocets pressed with fat. I've even heard, and I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. I've heard Coke with fat. It's just like, it's in everything, man. I tell my wife this all the time. When I was growing up, you know, I don't promote it or nothing, but at least we got to go from like smoking the bud to maybe hitting some acid, and then a couple, whatever the experimental thing is with a teenager. Nowadays, dude, if the way it is, they go from that little triangle that we did younger, they can drop dead easy. It's just that easy, dude, right? Is it the same over there in Atlanta with the press stuff?
To tell you, be perfectly honest, I don't know. I wouldn't know. You know, like I said, when I stopped and pulled myself out, I pulled myself out of it. You know, I don't talk, associate, deal with nobody that does it anymore. You know, I'm a father, a husband, you know, so I'm not around it all anymore. You know, I'm all for smoking some bud, but that's all I know. You know, I'm taking myself slowly. Been coming off of methadone slowly. I'm still on it. I'm still at 50 milligrams, and so I'm taking my time with it. You know.
Yeah, don't rush it.
You know,
don't rush it. If you're doing better, you're doing better.
I know people that have had a close friend. This guy Justin was at the methadone clinic with us for a few years then, and he moved to Tennessee. I was with him right before he moved. Gets up there, he's up there a month or two, ODs and dies. like you said, same on my end. Anyone and everyone that I associated with, all the people through all the methadone clinics I went through, death and destruction everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, anything and anybody that has any dealings with it. It was, it's become hell. And another short story. So this guy was a big meth dealer, goes to prison, gets out, straightens his life out. His girl goes and gets a bunk Percocet or something, Roxy. He goes to straighten at the gas station. He gets blown away at the fucking gas station to go try to straighten problems with, over a pill. He lost his life. And this was like 2+ years ago while I was in addiction. Me and my dealer were driving by, and we didn't see it happen, but we drove by while it had happened and seen the white tarp, the white thing over the dead body. And my buddy calls me up a day or two later and said, "You remember all those cops at the gas station?" Because we were riding dirty. And so I freaked. I come around the corner and there's, 20, 30 cop cars. I said, "Oh, fuck." Right. Mm-hmm. And so a day or two later, my buddy tells me, "Yeah, that was, what's his name? Leroy." And it come to me. Anyways, a friend of a friend, my buddy's stepdaughter's baby's daddy, went to go straighten it. So lost his life over it.
So let me ask you a question. So the chick got when she got a bunk pill, obviously it was a dirty pill or whatever. So what the dude go to straighten the guy for giving her a dirty pill or for doing it in general?
Yep. No, over the pill.
In general?
And in general, probably as well. Yeah.
And then he
had some small beef. Yeah. Dude, they were fighting in the gas station parking lot. Dude went over to his car, pulled out a shotgun, blew him away. So yeah, you don't know who and what you're dealing with. In our day, I'm 49, but in my day, people weren't carrying pieces as much as they are today. You fought fist and cuff. You don't fight fist and cuff today. Everybody's got a gun.
Yeah, it's sad. They don't know how to fight until they go to jail and they don't have the gun no more. But it's that's just with the jitterbugs, man. They're all on that, man. It's bad. I see it all on the news all the time. I don't know how Georgia, it's not too different from Florida. The crime there has always been worse, I think. But yeah, man, it's death and destruction, like you said, man. So your channel is you just got a lot of random stories. It's a recovery channel. You have some jail stories yourself with street stories and addiction and all that too as well, right?
Yeah. I spent a lot of years behind bars and mental institutions. I boot camp, jail version boot camp. They could put me in state mental hospital at 15. So starting at 15, I've been in and out of institutions my whole life.
Is that what you're talking about when you say mental institution? You done state time and they put you over there?
Yeah. I try to kill myself.
Dude, I can only imagine how that is.
Oh, man. I watched 2 people try to kill themselves in the first week. Really try to kill themselves. I was in the bathroom with this dude. You remember those old mirrors? They're like in gas stations. They're like mounted to the wall, kind of.
Yeah.
It's not like a dude punched that, broke the glass, started slicing on his wrist and blood spewing everywhere. And he's freaking out. That was something I wish I would have never seen, I can't say that he was trying to die, but he slit himself up gnarly, like in the movies. It was disgusting. I had to jump back. Blood was literally spewing, like in the movies, like, when you pop a line or something, it spurts. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. I saw a guy get poked up one time, and it's I'll never forget that sight. It's like literally like a water fountain, a shoot. It's like a thin stream of just like constant. Oh, dude, you'll never get
pressure behind it.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Yeah. What was the other time?
Yeah, I've seen a few of those. Also watched in the same week this black guy had some major time. I was, like I said, I was 15. I was in this other rehab for 6 to 8 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
My parents' insurance run out, so now I have to go home. So now they have to let me out. I go home. I'm coming back on day patient. This guy in my class kills himself, blows his head off with a shotgun. This kid that I'm in this group with, because of this, I'm in a group of a class of like 5 people every day, right?
Right.
One of the guys in this class was a perfectionist. Job, good looking dude, valedictorian, had a scholarship for football. Parents had money, perfect life, right? And his dad always pushed him. He always thought he had to be a perfectionist, yada, yada, yada. He goes home, blasts his own head, turns his head into like a pumpkin. So he was nightly news. I come into class the next day. They think that I'm suicidal. So now they're going to take me back in, put me on inpatient again. I go in, they take me back in there. They put me on suicide watch, where they put you in the gown, no shoestrings, all that
Ninja Turtle suit. Yeah.
You know the deal. So then I'm calling my girlfriend on the phone, right? And they come over and tell me, and now they're telling me, I can't use the phone. I said, fuck you. And, I went off on them, and they wound up having to put me in the, I went to the padded room. I went, finally they let me out of that. And I get home. My parents tell me they laying down the law, telling me all this shit. Keep in mind, I've been gone most of my entire my 15th year. And so I get home and they're telling me all this shit. You can't do this, this, and that. So, yeah, whatever. Ran up to my bedroom, locked my door, busted out my bedroom window, ran down to my best friend's house. They call my doctor. Doctor tells them I have to be, admitted. So here comes the police. They take me down to where the place was, Georgia Regional, that state mental hospital, right? This is like,
right.
Where the real crazies are, right? There was 2 sections. There was 2 wings. One was the observation, where you were for 2 weeks. If you were deemed unfit or whatnot, you go to the other side. We go to chow and all kind of different events, and we'd go and we'd be around the people from the other side, and every scary movie you ever dreamed of, just imagine that,
yeah,
batshit crazy people from A to Z. You know what I'm saying?
Were they like saying off the wall stuff to you, like just walking up asking for Fruit Loops and cigarettes, or like what were they doing?
15, 17-year-olds in the mind of a 3-year-old. That's about the best.
Oh, immaturity. Okay, gotcha.
There's a chick there. There's a chick there giving it out in broad daylight in front of anybody and everybody that wants some. I mean, these places are wild. First time I ever saw crabs. They had this ping pong table, and you put your clothes on there, you fold your clothes. Here come a crab crawl across the ping pong table.
Dude. Crab pong.
So this is the same place that these 2 kids try to kill themselves. This is real deal scary shit, for a 15-year-old.
Absolutely. No, absolutely, dude. That sounds like a horror movie in itself. That's crazy, man. Save the stories for your channel, dude. You seem like you got a lot of them, man. Shout the channel out, because it is kind of a long name on the channel. Spell it for them. Tell them where they can find it, and Instagram. But do your YouTube for sure first.
Michael Russakoff, MichaelRussakoff. You can find me on YouTube. They can find me on any of your platforms as well. I think I'm Mike. I am ADD's advocate on Instagram. Mike is nuts on whatchamacallit. And I'm very easy to find. Michael Russakoff on YouTube.
I'm gonna pin your that is your Instagram name. I was just double checking our message.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna pin your I'm gonna pin your channel name for your YouTube in the pinned comments. So because it is kind of a long one to spell. But man, much respect, dude. I guess when I do these interviews, man, these promotional, I try to help channels, because YouTube's funny. People are real petty when it comes to collabing. That's what I've noticed.
Big ups, man. Big ups. You're doing it right, bro.
Appreciate that, bro.
That's all you say. You're doing it right. I appreciate the hell out of it. You know, you're real deal. You got a lot of phonies and frauds out here, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody's about that dollar, and we all are, but be who you are.
Yeah, just be
And
yourself.
like I said, we see
With the advice part of it, man, I want to say, I mean, I know you'll hold your own, but you'll have trolls, man, trying to attack you for the because you're keeping it real yourself, saying you have ADD, you had an addiction, and you know, I'm sure if you talk about mental facilities, they're gonna come over and try to pull the strings. But dude, just block, pay no mind, or have fun and snap back at them, with whatever you want to do. But just don't let them get the best of you, man, because they're just real life haters, man.
I know I come too far. I dealt with worse, much worse.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. All right, Mike, man, I'm gonna put the intro on this and get it out. I'll pin it, and shout out to you, man. I wish the channel would grow, man, and definitely much respect for the youth. And man, keep doing what you're doing. Keep putting it out there. Anybody struggling out there with fat, H, perks, pills, if you're in the Georgia area, Atlanta area, near whatever, hit him up on IG, man. Get with his support system. That shit is nothing to play with, man. I'm not joking. 25 people in 2 years. How many would you say, Mike, in the last 2 years you lost? Can't even count, can
you? Really can't.
So many, right?
Seems like it happens once a week.
Hey,
you know, like I said, I've had to cut myself from that string, you know.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Listen, I deleted my Facebook a while back ago, and that was one of the reasons that I did it, because every time I would go on it, another loss, you know, and it's all from that, man. It's bad. It's hurting the whole country, man. But hey, if you're struggling, reach out to a man. You can always reach out to me, fitnessman@mail.com. Until the next one, y'all check his channel out. It's Mike, and we're out.
Thanks. See you,
no problem, brother.
Much love, bro. Thank you.